Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum, and it's Sunday today, so we're taking a look at another new product. Specifically today, it is LMT's Ion LT suppressor. This is a multi-caliber suppressor, so it's designed to be used from calibers 17 HMR up to 300 Winchester Magnum, as well as full auto 30 caliber machine guns. It is a rather different style of construction. It's a laser welded, non-disassemblable can. We'll take a look at that up close in just a moment. It is a low back pressure design, and that's what really drew me to it. Low back pressure has a bunch of advantages, practical advantages, really. The whole concept is it does not set a lot more back pressure in the barrel and the barrel and the chamber of the firearm that it's being used on. When you do have increased back pressure, it causes gas to blow out the action when the action unlocks and opens, which gets in the shooter's face, which is in small batches unpleasant, and in large batches actually does have some health issues. That's the low back pressure designs or flow-through designs have become popular largely because of military requirements. The military found that a lot of people who do a ton of shooting, especially indoors with back pressure inducing suppressors, end up with some health issues from the gas that they're inhaling coming out of the action of the gun. So military's moving to low back pressure designs, and that's pushing a lot of the commercial field that way too, which I think is great. As a left-hander who gets way more of that effect than right-handers do, I am really excited by the concept of common, readily accessible low back pressure suppressors. So, in addition to just being more pleasant to shoot, it also means that you're not changing the dynamics of the action of the gun. If you have a suppressor that induces a lot of back pressure, it may require you to tune the gun differently to work reliably with or without a suppressor. If the suppressor makes little or no impact on, say, the dwell time of the action or the pressure in the gas piston, then you don't have to do anything other than just screw the suppressor onto the gun and shoot as you normally would, and that's a really nice benefit as well. So LMT has this as their offering. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. A little while ago, we took a look at one of PTR's vent cans that's fully 3D printed from titanium. That's a great way to reduce the amount of necessary material in a suppressor, but this laser welding system is also a totally viable option for getting the same result with a less expensive technology. So the idea here is that each of these sections, and you can see the weld lines there, each of these sections is in essence its own individual baffle, and rather than stacking them up inside a separate tube, where that tube adds a bunch of weight where it doesn't really need to be, instead what they've done here is just weld the baffles together so that there's no outside structure necessary, and you can save a bunch of weight. Now, the corollary to this is that the suppressor can't be disassembled. You can't take those welds apart, but frankly, with center fire suppressors, you don't really need to ever. The maintenance that does have to be done on these, when it needs to be done, can generally just be, soak it in some solvent and you're kind of good to go. Now, I took the end cap off here. One of the things that I like about LMTs is that they have a variety of different accessories for it here for this intended multi-caliber roll. So this is just the regular end cap. This is the one with the flash hider on it. And for example, we have one here that is 30 cal and one that is 5.56. So obviously the center bore is slightly oversized for 30 caliber so that you can safely use 30 caliber cartridges in it. But if you want to use 5.56 in it, you can actually get a bit of a benefit to your sound suppression just by restricting the exit hole of the suppressor to 5.56 millimeters. So they have an end cap to do that. We have a plain one. If you don't care about the flash hider, you can save a little bit of weight by going with this. Note the little vent holes in all of these. Well, you can see these holes here. The idea is that once gas pressure builds up here, instead of only being able to vent out that center bore, this can also vent around the sides of the can. You get a lot of gas distributed nicely through the can, and then nice small little vent ports there so that it doesn't, you want to balance the suppression, how quiet you can keep the can, with reducing the pressure in the can as quickly as possible once the bullet has left. LMT has a couple different options available for mounts. I have this. It is just a single port brake that's not really meant to be a brake. It's just intended to be a suppressor mount. I like this because it's basically the exact same profile, same size as the muzzle brake that came on this HCAR. So that's a really nice replacement. And then the can just threads onto that. Standard 1.375 by 24 millimeter threads. They also offer an end cap that is just a direct thread, so that's 5/8 by 24. They also offer end caps for 5.56, which is half 28, as well as single port brakes for 5.56. They also have multi-port brakes if you want something that's more of a fully functional muzzle brake for when you're not using a can. They have that for both 5.56 and 7.62 sized barrel mounts. So a bunch of nice candy accessories. Like they put some thought into the multi-caliber aspect of this. I really appreciate the fact that it also actually came with a wrench that has, you know, sizes for all of the different elements on this thing. That's cool. It's not a big thing, and you know, for a $1,300 suppressor, which this is, it's not that, I wouldn't think it's that much to ask for a pretty simple laser cut wrench like this, but it's convenient, helpful to have. So full disclosure, by the way, LMT did send me this can for free. So I think now we are going to go ahead and put it back onto the HCAR, take it out to the range, and let's see if that low back pressure flow through idea actually works. All right, so I have converted my HCAR, heavy counter assault rifle, to the SHhhCAR, the sneaky heavy counter assault rifle, with the addition of LMT's 30 cal ion can, and I'm curious to see how it works. It's reasonably lightweight. I'm curious mostly to see how much gas it blows back in my face, because as a left-hander, that's a big issue for me with suppressors. So let's find out. First, slow fire, I feel absolutely no gas in the face at all, which is excellent. Man, someone up on the range put some spray paint on some rocks, and I have just basically obliterated all of them with the power of 30-06, which is pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna rapid fire a bunch here and see if I can get it to put out some obnoxious gas. Nada. That's freaking awesome. Like I said, I mean, I'm going to reiterate it again. One of the really obnoxious things about being left-handed with suppressors is the gas back pressure that comes out of the actions on self-loading guns. It is, in the worst cases, eye-watering, like your eyes will close up, you can't shoot well with the gas coming back from the suppressor. That is fantastic.